Kaleidoscope, a weekly public affairs program brought to you in partnership with the Urban League of Greater Cleveland, Kaleidoscope Magazine, and News Channel 5.
Good morning, everyone. Good to have you with us today. Remember New is a locally based organization founded in 2005 to help prevent children from becoming a part of the worldwide sex trade. Its founder and president, Carl Ralston, and the organization's namesake, Newton, are here to tell us more about their efforts. Then we will hear from Mike Griffin, Senior Vice President, Community Development at Banking at KeyBank and Senior Program Director at Enterprise. Jenny Epic is here as well. Later on the broadcast, we'll hear about the annual scholarship event hosted by the Black Professionals Association Foundation of Cleveland. Good morning again. I'm Leon Bibb. This is Kaleidoscope, and so we begin right now with Carl Ralston, President and founder of Remember New, that's spelled N-H-U, and Newton, who's a spokesperson for the group Remember New. Good to have you both with us. Carl, let's begin with you. Tell us about the mission of Remember New. And is New? Is that who we're talking about?
Yes, New is the namesake of Remember New. And we have one purpose, and it's to prevent children from ever entering the sex trade around the world.
That's a big, big problem, isn't it?
It is.
A growing problem.
Yes.
Yeah. How widespread is it? How widespread is it here in the United States?
It goes on all over the world. There's 1.2 million children a year that they estimate are trafficked into the sex trade. And in the United States, it happens to about 14,000 children a year.
Yeah. And the name Remember New. We are remembering Newton right here, right?
Yes.
What's her story?
She was 14 years old when her grandmother had to borrow some money to have food for the family. It was very high interest, and after some months she had no ability to pay back the debt and ended up selling New to pay that debt.
And this was this in your home, New? Where was this?
In Cambodia.
In Cambodia?
Yeah.
How are you doing now? And when was this? How many years ago was this?
When I was 14.
Yeah, how old are you now, if I can ask?
Now I'm 23.
A few years ago, less than 10 years ago.
No.
How has all of this changed your life? This organization, Remember New, named in your honor, I suppose.
Now I see all the kids that stay safe and they not hurt like I did.
Yeah.
So and the kid can go to school.
Yes.
And they have a nice home to stay.
Yeah. Carl, what are your visions for the organization Remember New?
People ask that, like if I have any goals, and I don't have a goal for a number of homes or anything to open. I just have a goal to see this stop. In our time and age, there's no reason that children should have to be at risk of the sex trade.
You were telling me before the broadcast that you and your wife live in Cambodia right now.
We live in Thailand.
In Thailand?
Correct.
What are you doing there?
We oversee the work that's in Thailand right now, and that's 4 children's homes with about 130 children in them, and we oversee the other homes. We have 16 children's homes around the world.
Tell us how these bad people take these children and get them into the sex trade.
There's a number of different ways that happens. Many times there's actually a sex broker that works for the brothels, and they'll go out into the villages and the rural areas and entice people to sell their children to them. They don't tell them it's to work in the sex trade. They'll tell them that they have a rich friend in the city that needs a maid or a nanny or something like that.
Is that the story with Newton right here? Was that your story too?
My story is, yeah, similar like that. Like the lady near my neighborhood, and she told my grandmother that, oh, now I big enough, so she can go and give you some money.
Where do you live now?
Now I live in Thailand.
And you're here for this broadcast, and we appreciate you being here. This is something now, I talked to some months ago, your national director, Jim
Hicksonbaum.
And he was talking about what we can do in this country, what we can do here in Ohio, what we can, and speak to that a little bit, what we can do.
The majority of the support that Remember New gets is just through individuals who sponsor children, and by giving $60 a month, it provides for all of the child's needs: food, clothing, shelter, medical care, education. They stay with us 24/7, 365 days a year.
They're with you in Thailand?
Thailand and 6 other countries around the world.
Where are those countries? Are they on this continent?
No, we have 2 homes in Gambia, West Africa, 2 in India, 3 in Myanmar, 4 in Thailand, 2 in Cambodia, 2 in the Philippines, and 1 in Bolivia.
While we're talking, let me put a phone number and a website on the screen. People can get more information on everything we're talking about, and they can make donations, I would imagine, by going to this website. The website is Remember New, and New is spelled N-H-U, Newton's name, remembernew.org, and the phone number there is 330-603-7777. And we appreciate you being on the broadcast to talk about this problem. This is a growing problem, which are there international governmental organizations involved to stop this sex trade?
Yeah, the good news is they're attacking it on many different levels. There's organizations that attack it through legal and political means, through education, prevention, and intervention as well.
And your life has changed a great deal. Obviously, life is good now for you. You would say that?
Yeah.
It is
Life's amazing.
It is good to have you on the broadcast. Thank you very much. Newton, who's a spokesperson and a consultant with the organization Remember New, and we remember New. Thank you so much. And thank you so much, Carl Ralston, who's president and founder of the organization Remember New.
Thank you.
Be well, my friends. Be well.
Thank you.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
We're going to take a break. We'll be right back. This is Kaleidoscope. Coming up, solving the homeless problem after this. Welcome back to more of Kaleidoscope. Good to have you with us. KeyBank and Enterprise Community Partners have formed a partnership in an effort to help solve homelessness in this community. The Senior Vice President of Community Development Banking at KeyBank, Mike Griffin, is here, and the Senior Program Director at Enterprise Community Partners, Jenny Epic, is here, and they're here to give us information about creating permanent supportive housing to address chronic homelessness in Greater Cleveland. Good to have you with us both.
Good to be here.
Yeah. Tell me about first off, Jenny, let's start with you. Community Development, rather a Senior Program Director for Enterprise Community Partners. What is that?
Well, I work for Enterprise Community Partners. It's a national intermediary, really with the mission of creating affordable housing across the country. We've been here in Cleveland for almost 30 years. But my role at Enterprise is managing the Housing First initiative, which is our community's effort to end chronic homelessness in Cuyahoga County.
Mike, you are Senior Vice President for Community Development Banking at KeyBank. What's KeyBank's role in this now?
So Key has been involved in financing quite a bit of the projects that have been built to address this issue. So we've been involved in the financing of 5 of the projects, creating about 300 units of housing, and that's really been an investment of about $50 million to address the issue of chronic homelessness just here in Cleveland.
How big a problem is it, Mike?
Chronic homelessness is a significant problem. I mean, we, Enterprise, and a lot of other community groups started to address the issue back in about 2002, and we've created over 500 units. It's 500.
Right. And we've identified a need for another 695 units, and we believe that if we can bring those units online, that we can end chronic homelessness in Cuyahoga County.
Now, what's the goal of these units now? Is this is to get folks off the street, give them a home,
yes,
and get them restarted?
Yes. That's right. The chronically homeless are a relatively small percentage of the overall homeless population. They're about 20% of the overall homeless population, but they are high consumers of homeless resources, over 70% of the homeless resources, and also high consumers of other public systems. There are folks that use emergency rooms for their health care, who are often in inpatient psychiatric treatment and in our jails. So they are high utilizers of other public systems. And if we can get them off the streets and out of our shelters and permanently housed, it's not only the right thing to do, but it also saves the other systems money.
Yeah. Mike, your bank has put some money into this, obviously.
Yeah, quite a bit of money.
And talk about the philosophy behind putting the money into this issue?
Sure. I mean, one of Key's sort of set statements out there is we want to see our communities thrive, and this is one way we really do that. This issue, particularly as Jenny identified, it addresses the most difficult folks there are to house. We aren't going out and saying, who are the easy folks to house in this situation? We're going to the shelters, under the bridges, and saying, the folks who have been long-term homeless, have mental health issues, maybe have chemical dependency issues, come on in, we can help provide you with stable housing, get you off the streets, and save the government agencies and other providers money. So it really is a win-win for the residents who receive housing, but also for the community.
We're going to continue our discussion on this, but I want to give a website and a phone number right now. We've got some photographs we're going to put up in just a second, too. HousingFirstInitiative.org. You can find that. You can get more information on everything we're talking about at that website, HousingFirstInitiative.org, or you can call 216-631-0280, as you see at the bottom of your television screen there, and we'll keep that up for a little bit. Tell me about the photographs that you brought with you, Jenny.
Well, the photographs are of the project that most recently opened, Greenbridge Commons. It's located at 75th and Euclid. Beautiful building. And the photos really show what the permanent supportive housing model aspires to, which is a beautiful building that fits in seamlessly to the community. It has ample community space and service space, and intact apartments for the residents.
This is at East 75th Street and Euclid Avenue. It's wonderful.
And this project actually has a community garden as well.
Well, great. We need all of that in our lives to give us a strength in our lives. How many folks are there? How many folks do you have
there? It's a 70-unit building.
Yes. The goal is to increase this, isn't it, Mike?
Absolutely. As Jenny said, we've got over 600 units of permanent supportive housing that are needed to address and really end chronic homelessness. So we're hoping to be able to achieve that, certainly over the coming years. It's been a long haul getting to our first 500 units. When we think about just preparing for this, going back to 2002, I mean, it's hard to believe it's been a decade we've been focused on this. And it's great to see something like Greenbridge Commons and the impact it's had.
Yes.
And it's been great to see the collaboration within the community. It's an amazing number and variety of partners who are involved, both other banks and other social service organizations.
Well, it's great to see KeyBank and the Enterprise Community Partners forming this partnership to work together, because it is a growing problem out there.
Absolutely.
And you see this as your organization, your bank, as staying in this kind of work. It helps the entire community, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
If we can do that.
Right. It absolutely, again, addresses the issue for the individuals themselves, gets them in a permanent, safe, quiet place where they can start to address the issues in their life and provide services on site. And it addresses the issue of homeless individuals on the street for the community, so that people, are able to not feel harassed sometimes as they do.
Well, thank you, KeyBank, and thank you, Enterprise Community Partners. Jenny Epic of Enterprise Community, and Mike Griffin, Senior Vice President for Community Development Banking at KeyBank. Thanks for being on the broadcast.
All right, thank you.
Once again, that phone number is 631-0280. More information on everything we're talking about, you can see it at the bottom of the screen. I've got to take a break. We'll be right back with more after these words, especially for you. Welcome back to more of Kaleidoscope today. Black Professionals Association Charitable Foundation hosts its annual scholarship and awards gala Saturday, November the 10th. The event now is in its 32nd year. Awards an average of 25 scholarships each year. Chief Administrative Officer at University Hospital, Stephen Stanley, and PBACF board member, Dr. Michael Scope, are here to talk about the event and this year's honoree, who is Cleveland Mayor Frank Jackson. Good to have you with us, Michael Scope, board member of the Black Professionals Association Charitable Foundation, and sitting on the outside, Stephen Stanley, Chief Administrative Officer for University Hospital. It's good to have you with us.
Good morning.
Yeah, let's start with you, Michael Scope. What's the mission of Black Professionals Association Charitable Foundation?
Well, the Black Professional Association Charitable Foundation has for many years supported and promoted the development of young black professionals, particularly through providing scholarships, but also through leadership and mentoring programs.
And when you're not doing this, you're working working at Cuyahoga Community College.
I am
a position of importance over there. Tell us about that.
I lead their metropolitan campus, so we are the downtown campus, and very proud to be.
Glad to have you here at the desk here for our Kaleidoscope program. Also with us is Stephen Stanley, Chief Administrative Officer at University Hospital. It's good to have you with us, Stephen, as well.
Thank you.
You are involved in this big award. Tell us about this year's honoree.
Well, Mayor Jackson has been a great friend and colleague to University Hospitals, and he has a really great relationship with Tom Zenti. We worked very closely with him over the last 5 or 6 years on our Vision 2010 projects that we just completed, which was $1.2 billion of investment. And with the mayor's help and the late Stephanie Tubbs-Jones, we were able to do that in a way that we think really changed the status quo.
Yeah.
So over that time, I got to know him very well, and he's really changed UH.
So you're going to honor him at your big gala on Saturday, November the 10th at the Renaissance Cleveland Hotel, the big hotel along Public Square there.
Yes, yes.
What do you think about this year's honoree, Mayor Frank Jackson of Cleveland?
Well, I really think that he has shown outstanding leadership, particularly around an issue of education that's both important to our organization as we support the education of young black professionals, but also to my campus and to Cuyahoga Community College. He has been an adamant supporter of education in the city of Cleveland and really a courageous supporter of education.
Yeah, he talks about education all the time. In fact, he's talking about the Cleveland school system right now with the issue which is on the ballot. I understand you're also giving leadership grants to young women as part of this. To speak to that for a few seconds or so.
Well, I think in particular we know that young African-American women are really part of the leadership and vanguard of the future, and so we want to make sure that they have targeted support.
Stephen Stanley, tell us why you think this is so vital to not only honor the mayor, but this is the 32nd year for this organization offering the Black Professional of the Year. Why do you see this as important for Greater Cleveland?
I think it's really important because I think we're experiencing a renaissance right now in this city, and things are really changing positively. I think this Mayor Jackson, has led that. He leads for the community, and he looks forward. He doesn't lead to get reelected. And that kind of courage and the things he's done really need to be recognized, and I think this event is the perfect place to do that.
You see it kind of as a quiet strength. He may not say a great deal. Some people have said that, but he does a great deal. Is that what you're telling me?
He does, and he really means what he says, and he's always working. He always takes the right line on whatever it is, the issue is. And it's a tough job. You know, I don't think a lot of us could understand how tough that job is.
It is a tough job running any big American city these days. Michael, are there tickets available for this big event? It's going to be Saturday evening, November the 10th at the Renaissance Cleveland Hotel. Tickets still available?
Tickets are still available, and we'd love to see you there.
How do you get a ticket now?
You can contact the BPACF. Go directly to our website, and we will get you a ticket, or you can contact me at my office, and I'd be happy to get you a ticket as well.
This is how good our control room is. As you're talking about it, they've got your website right across your chest there. BPACF.org is the website. More information on everything we're talking about, or you can make a telephone call to that telephone number of 229-7110. That's in the 216 area code. More information on everything we're talking about. We will see you on Saturday, November the 10th at the Renaissance Cleveland Hotel in downtown Cleveland.
Looking forward to it.
And you as well.
I will.
Tell everybody at UH we said hi.
We're all coming.
Yeah, and everybody at Tri-C, we said hi.
Thank you.
We're all coming too. Okay. Good to see you both. Thank you very much, gentlemen. I'm going to take a break in a moment. Marcia Maccabee of the Urban League of Greater Cleveland offers a commentary after this. I've I've read your cards and letters where you say we want more of Marsha Maccabee, your emails as well, and Marsha is here, President and CEO of the Urban League of Greater Cleveland. Good to see you, Marsha.
Thank you. You too, Leon. And as I'm out and about, I also get lots of requests for you, so right? I'm glad that we're doing this together.
Well, it's nice to be wanted and not run out of time.
Absolutely. That's absolutely certain. Yes, yes.
So what's on your mind today, Marsha?
Well, you know, Leon, the Urban League is really moving towards, for this next year, taking a very strong stand in the advocacy area around education. And so as we look at what needs to happen in education, we want to make sure that there's equity and excellence in education for all of our children. And that means that we have to look at where disparities are occurring in education, where children are not really getting a great education, and we really need to start holding those systems accountable. So you're going to see us stepping out big time on that issue in this coming year. And I'll tell you something that really sparked my enthusiasm about that and really ignited my passion was a movie that I recently saw, and the movie is Won't Back Down.
Yeah.
And it is an outstanding movie, viewed it last week, and it is the story of a failing school, which we have many of those in our community right now, and the story is about a teacher and a parent who said, no more. We can't take this anymore. We've got to do something about it. And the story is about their journey through what they had to go through and what they had to do in order to turn that situation around.
So this is a good one. This is a movie to see.
This is a movie to see.
As the movie critics say, you give it a thumbs up.
Two thumbs up.
2 thumbs up.
Yes, yes, yes.
As Siskel and Ebert always said, thumbs up on that movie.
Absolutely.
Won't Back Down. It's a good one.
It's a good one.
So it inspired you to keep this push going, not only in Cleveland, but in all of Greater Cleveland, in the Northeast Ohio.
Absolutely. You know, when I think about the fact that the number of our children who are not able to read on grade level, who are graduating and don't have the skills that they really need to be successful in the 21st century workforce, if there were a health epidemic of this proportion in our community, every system in this country would stop and solutions would be found.
Wow.
So we've got to get serious. We're in a state of emergency.
We are in a state of emergency. The push is on.
Absolutely.
And she says, take a look at that movie, Won't Back Down, because it kind of sets the stage for what you really need to do.
It does.
All right. Okay. Thank you very much, Marsha Maccabee, for being on the broadcast as always. That's going to do it for us at Kaleidoscope. Be well.
Kaleidoscope, a weekly public affairs program brought to you in partnership with the Urban League of Greater Cleveland, Kaleidoscope Magazine, and News Channel 5.